Hello friends, and welcome to the Architect Address for the 1st of September 2019. And what a wild month it's been. Wait, what do you mean it's been 2 months? Shit. Right, yeah, I said I'd be better about these. Turns out I haven't. I'll do better in future. Anyway, we've got 3 whole videos to discuss, so that sounds like fun. Let's do that. First up, designing the perfect enemy. This is a real straightforward video that just gives me a chance to chat about some of my favourite enemy designs in games. That's stuff like talking about the relationships between grunts, elites and the Master Chief, or the various kinds of zombies in Half-Life 2's interactions with Freeman. It's all basically really fun stuff, because ultimately all you're really doing is analysing that nebulous, omnipresent conversation between a developer and a player that I like to call back to basically whenever I can. I feel like that whole idea of mechanics and interaction kind of being a dialogue these two sides have over the course of play is one of my favourite things I've kind of explored on the channel so far. There's really just so much to talk about when you realise that enemies aren't always meant to challenge us or even be a threat. They really exist to communicate the themes of a game in a physical way that gives players something to latch onto in their understanding of what's going on. I didn't mention it, but Big Daddies in Bioshock are of course a freaking classic example of this, with them being just a giant metaphor for both the player and how they see Rapture. It's great stuff. I of course also got to talk about mimics in Prey, which are great. I love them. Good little spidery boys. The next video is fixing genre fusions, which really did not do very well at all. It joins the illustrious company of the one about Pyre and the one about Final Fantasy 15 in the hall of videos that people just, for whatever reason, didn't want to watch. I'll admit, in this case, the video was kind of rushed out. Mark Brown, the bastard, made a video all about Celeste's jump relative to other games, and that was kind of exactly what I was going to talk about, so the video got scrapped, and I had to cobble together a new one. I think that Mark and I definitely came to different conclusions about what Celeste does well. He seems to present it as the be-all, end-all perfect platformer, but I think a lack of responsiveness and wackier gravity can definitely create very different experiences, which aren't necessarily better or worse than what Celeste does, but they're definitely also valid ways of designing games. As for the video that, actually got made, I don't know, I really like the high concept literary theory stuff, but I think talking about genres just doesn't have that immediate relatability you need to build a good video around. I had to lay a lot of groundwork, and even then I was making some pretty obvious points when you get right down to it. It turns out that mushing 2 games together makes something that's kind of like both of the constituent parts, but not really. It was all a bit obvious. Unlike the most recent video that came out, Why We're Wrong About Violence in Games, which admittedly is a bit of a clickbait title, you got me, but I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I think that my take on the issue being that violent and non-violent games are sort of the same in a lot of ways is something I've not really heard before, and helps reconcile a lot of the difficulties I and other people have had when trying to talk about the problems of how mainstream games get designed. Ultimately, what I'm asking people to do is see video games less as toys and more as works of art, which we should have been doing for decades already, but hey, I think we're getting there. The video seems to be going down well as well, lots of really interesting comments from people who've watched the video, and of course also a lot from people who clearly haven't. There was one guy I remember I saw complaining I said Minecraft was a non-violent game, even though like 10 seconds after that I said that it is actually a violent game, and I thought you, but it totally would have taken more than 10 seconds to write the comment, so I'm not entirely sure what was going on there. I don't think I'll ever know. But I am glad that the video resonated with so many people, even though it's like middle of the road in popularity. So yeah, that's a bit of a whistle-stop tour of the latest videos. I hope you enjoyed them. Hello to all the new patrons. I've got a couple more recently, quite a few more than usual. So hi, if you've got any burning questions you'd like to ask me, then put them in the comments and I might get around to them if they're good. Yeah, see you for the next video, whenever that is, and have a good one. Bye!